So the first vehicle that I've purchased is a Saturn 2002 Saturn L300, LW300 or something like that. It's a wagon. It's a Saturn wagon. I found this car on Let Go. And I'm telling you, people, you can find good deals with bargains on cars. Trust me. You gotta look around, and yeah, you're taking chances, but you gotta know something. You gotta do your homework. Put it that way. Yeah, these cars are out there now. You gotta be smart when you're looking for these cars. I never look for cars in the inner city ever, where I live. I always, because I know cars that have been driven in the inner city are not going to be very good. When someone gets rid of them, that's probably because they hit too many potholes, the frame is not good on the car, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of wear and tear on the car when you're driving it around in the inner city. And if you're looking for a car that you want to drive around even more, you want to have it with the least amount of wear and tear, if possible, considering the year and the car. So I found, after looking at quite a few cars over the last month, I found a car on Let Go, this wagon. The seller was about an hour away from my home. But like I told you before, I always look for something that has, a seller that's not in the inner city. So anyway, I went out. Basically, it was a guy. He was basically owned a shop. I guess they work on cars, but they also have some cars for sale, quite a few. And they had this car, and it was they were actually selling it for one of their customers, because the customer had several DUIs. So because this customer had several DUIs, they felt that it was just pretty much time to get rid of this car. And they weren't super pressed on how much money they received versus how much money it would cost them if they got caught driving around in that car after receiving DUIs, multiple DUIs. So this guy said, hey, I've been working on this car for this customer for quite some time. It's only been owned by one guy, a couple, but the guy was driving it and pretty much had the car since, bought the car brand new. It was only one owner, so the car was in pretty good shape. Had new tires, a couple of things that were recently fixed on it, but it was just basically a car, you know what I mean? It was nothing like super spectacular about it. He was asking $1,500 or best offer on Let Go. So I pretty much sent this guy a message. And I told him, I said, hey man, I'm not trying to disrespect what you asking for, you know what I mean? But I got $500 right now. I live about an hour away. I can come get the car right now if you want to sell it. If you don't, that's cool. I appreciate you taking the time to look at my message. He texted me back the address. He didn't say anything. He didn't say, all right, cool, or no, whatever. He just texted me back the address. So I took it upon myself. I took me and my $500, and I took it upon myself to drive out here. When I drove out here, when I got there, it was a lot. It was like like an old gas station or something like that. It had maybe, without exaggerating, I'll say 25 to 30 cars on the lot. I can clearly see the wagon, the one that I was looking at on the picture, I saw it. It was like in the middle of all the cars. It stood out. It was kind of clean. The guy came out and he just immediately started talking, you know. He just was telling me stories. Like, we wasn't even talking about the car. He was just like, so after about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, no lie, I sat here listening to this dude. After about 35 minutes of listening to him talk, I said, he said, so how much money you got for me? So I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know if the guy see now, I don't know, but I know I told him already before I came here I got $500. I don't know if he thought I was joking or if he was testing to see if I was gonna say the same thing. So I said, yeah, I got $500, just like I told you in the text before I came out here. He was like, shh. You know, I could easily sell this car right now. I had somebody getting ready to buy it for $1,200. They're supposed to be coming to pick it up tomorrow. I said, well, I understand business is business, but I really don't care about that guy that's coming tomorrow. I'm here right now, $500 right here. I can get this off your lot. It look like you got a lot of cars you're trying to get rid of. He said, yeah, I am. I'm being cited by the city for some type of zoning issues because he had too many cars on his lot. So basically, shit, I'm doing him a favor by getting rid of one of them. So, and he was cool with it. He didn't seem like he was even pressed for the money. He was just like, yeah, I do need to get these cars off the lot. He was like, you got $500 right now? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm gonna need tax. 2. I said, all right, so how much is that gonna be? So he did up the little tax. Tax came out to $55. So I was like, all right. So he did the paperwork. I ran across the street to the ATM, got $60, came back, gave him $55. He gave me the keys. Rest history. So for $500, I got a vehicle, and I expect to make my money back. So the $500 I spent on the car, or the $555 that I spent on the car, plus the $20 I spent on the temporary registration. So let's say that's $600 right there, plus $250 to get the brakes done all the way around. That's $850. Plus, let's just say $100 for the first week in gas. That's $950. So let's just say $1,000. Let's just say $1,000, even though it's not $1,000 that I'm spending. Let's just say it is $1,000 that I'm spending. I plan to make that $1,000 back within the first 2 weeks of driving this vehicle. Not owning it, because I'm not going to start driving it to delivering until I receive it back from my mechanic with the A-OK that it's okay to drive. So whatever it costs my mechanic to look at it, fix it, whatever, plus the temporary tag cost, plus the cost of the car and tax, plus gas. I'm adding all that cost up. I came up, even though I overestimated, I came up to $1,000. And let's just say when I have to buy my plates, which will be October the 1st, I guarantee you I will have made my money back, all the money back that I spent, plus some. So however long that vehicle lasts me after the money I made that I spent on it, that's what's gonna matter. So once I made $1,000 back, okay, I broke even. Now I'm driving this vehicle. However long I drive this vehicle and however much profit I make on that, that's profit after that. Ain't no wear and tear on the car. Ain't no miles. I don't care about wear and tear, because I bought a car with 150,000 miles. And if I drive it another 100,000 miles on it, then that's because I made like $80,000 if I drove 100,000 miles on this 150,000 mile car. So anyway, should you purchase a delivery vehicle, if you're considering being a courier or delivery driver. Please put your, mine is only an opinion. This is just what I'm doing. Like I told you, I do it so you don't have to. It's your boy, Roll 100. Hey, remember, when you roll, make sure it's 100. Peace.